I'm sorry, this appraisal came back at how much? If you are buying a house in today's market, this video is for you. We're going to talk about home appraisals and things you need to know in order to successfully navigate through that process. Stick around, that's coming up next. What's up, everybody? It's Matt Allen here with the Allen Real Estate team. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we are talking about appraisals and how appraisals are going to impact the real estate market over the coming months. What's happening is people are spending ridiculous amounts of money, going way above and beyond asking prices. They are paying more than the value of the homes, and honestly, it's going to bite them in the butt here in the coming months because appraisers are not going to continue to upgrade houses to make them value out. So keep that in mind. Today we're going to talk about some tactics and things you can do to avoid that pitfall and make sure you have a successful transaction. First and foremost, when you found that property that you've fallen in love with, or it's the only property available in your city, which is happening, the very first thing you really need to do is have your real estate agent do a full market analysis so you know what the value of that property is. It doesn't necessarily have to be what you're going to offer, but at least know that value going in, and knowing if you're going to go above that, that's going to become your responsibility to pay if the appraisal doesn't come back in your favor. A lot of people right now are making offers, hoping and gambling that the appraisal will come in, and then when they get to that issue of an under appraisal, they really don't know what to do. So make sure that you know that value of that property going in. Price per square foot. I have this discussion with a lot of people on a daily basis. Price per square foot is what everybody likes to use to decide what that value is. Keeping in mind, appraisers typically do not use price per square foot. They are trying to find like-kind property in a certain particular area around the subject property. So price per square foot doesn't always come into effect. So keep that in mind, because the price per square foot could be a lot higher than what the actual value of that property is. So make sure your real estate agent is also looking at similar properties, similar square footage, engaging it that way, as opposed to establishing a price per square foot and then adding that to the square footage of the house you're buying. Once you've got that value in your head as far as what you know that house is worth, now it comes down to what are you willing to pay for the house. And with 30 offers on the table, I can almost guarantee you're going to be over that value, and you're going to have to decide if you can come up with the extra money to pay towards that, because a lender, and this is of course if you're in a finance situation where you're financing the house, the lender is only going to lend you enough money based on that appraised value. So if it under appraises, you are going to be responsible for the difference in all certain terms. So if it under appraises by $5,000, you're going to be responsible for putting that extra $5,000 into the transaction as cash, toward the sale. So keep that in mind. That's extremely important. I get asked this a lot as far as if an appraisal can be adjusted after the fact. You can challenge an appraisal. However, in my many years of doing real estate, very rarely are we ever successful in challenging an appraisal. It's basically challenging the integrity of the person that just did the appraisal. You're telling them they're wrong. So they're going to fight tooth and nail to make sure they can back up what they have. And they've gotten better through the years because they are not specifically chosen by the lender. It's more of a fair system. Although some appraisers may not be familiar with that neighborhood, they do follow what's called the USPAP regulations as far as how they conduct an appraisal, so it is pretty uniform. Can you challenge an appraisal? Yes. The likelihood of you adjusting that value is not very good, to be all honest with you. So hopefully at this point, with an appraisal contingency in place, you and the other listing agent can come up with a reasonable solution to the problem. Any seasoned agent typically can come up with options. It may be a give and take where the buyer gives some, the seller gives some, or there's some negotiation that goes on to successfully get them to that finish line of closing on the house. Sometimes it is that the buyer is going to pay a little additional out of their own pocket to make the transaction work. And that's not always a bad thing. Everybody thinks they lose when they do that, but in the long run, depending on your needs, is that the house you're really looking for? And is an additional $2,000 or $3,000 really going to make a difference if this is your forever home, or a home at least you're going to be in for the next 10 years or so? So keep that in mind. It's not the end of the world if you do have to input some money into the transaction. I know the home buying process is getting complicated by the day, but the appraisals is probably the most important part of the whole process. Make sure you're planning ahead for that. Hopefully you found this interesting. If you do have specific questions, or you're in the market right now buying a house and really don't understand something, or you have a specific question, let me know. Drop me a comment down below, because I have the experience to maybe help you with that. I have resources, lenders and appraisers that could probably answer questions if I can't answer them. So really use us as a resource. If you like this video, I'm going to link to another video up here on other mistakes that buyers can make in the purchase process. So watch that video. Again, if there's anything we can do for you, let us know. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye. What? 100,000 under asking price. Yikes. It's not really an appraisal. Uh-oh. Holy moly. This house appraised 50,000 over our contract price? Woohoo! Nice job.